Hello, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, I'm excited. I am so excited for tonight's session. I love how you guys are on time. For my people that was waiting, I love it. Okay. I really love it. Oh, who's K Kurt? I know that K Kurt. Brian, is that you? Brian, is that you? Yeah. Hi, Brian. I love that you're so on time. I love it. Who else do we got on the call? I'm excited. Who else is here? Guys, if y'all don't know me by now, I love when you guys interact. I moved off your energy, see how you guys go. So let me know who's here. Drop your name in the chat. Where are you tuning in from? First meeting. Yes. Oh my God, Brian, it's first meeting. You've been MIA. You have been MIA. I'm super excited about. I haven't done alive in a really long time, and I'm finding that a lot of persons have the same questions over and over. So I'm like, why not do a general raising private money session and also fill with lots of Q&As and all that stuff, because I see we all need money. Everyone always need money, but it's always like, how do I find lenders? What do I do? How do I pitch? How do I read the documents? And everyone wants to have all the contracts ready and know how to write the contracts and know everything about it. But I'm gonna burst your bubble tonight. I'm gonna burst your bubble that you do not need to know everything because you're not an expert, especially when it comes on a contract. But after tonight's um, session as well, you guys would realize how truly easy and hard it is to raise money. But especially if you are completely new, you will see the things and the steps that you need to take to raise money. And you also realize that if you are an experienced investor, there are some things that you are sleeping on. Like you're sleeping on so many creative ways to raise money, being an experienced investor, and finding people as well. So if you guys are here, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for being on time. Again, drop where you are joining from, which state are you joining from. Also, if what are you most excited to learn in tonight's session as well. Like, I'm so excited. I get excited to talk about private money because I remember when I just got started and I was like so nervous. I'm like, oh, coming from Jamaica, I don't know anyone in my network with money. $8,000 is a lot of money. 10,000 US is a lot of money because I'm used to my Jamaican currency, right? So if you are completely new, like I hope that even after tonight's call and you get your questions answered, but you also gain the confidence to be like, okay, I can do this. If she got to the States less than 7 years ago, raised money from random people online, built her network, I can do it. Like there was no luck or anything involved. It's just that I decided to take the step and just do it. All right. From Maryland, I love it. We got Claudia over here. Brian, as always, appreciate you. You're always like supportive. Like you're like the number one person on my list. I love you and appreciate you so much. Um, but like really and truly, you guys, you can raise money. And I think one of the hardest hurdle to overcome when you want to raise money is that you hear $50,000. And because a lot of times we cannot think of someone right off the bat in our network with $50,000, we think that it's impossible. And it's not. It really is not possible. Well, it is possible. It is possible for you to raise the money. I think a lot of it when it comes on to raise money, it's all about mindset. That might sound super cliche, but coming from someone who thought raising 10,000 or $25,000 is a lot of money and impossible to now have raised so much money in millions, I'll be like, oh my God. When I looked on like our system and I looked on how many loans we're managing, so right now I'm like, That's a lot of money. And this is in the millions. Okay. So you guys can do it. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys, that you can do it. And I really hope that the tips and the knowledge that I'm going to share, a lot of you might be writing as well. Don't just write it and leave it in a book, right? Implement some of the stuff, like commit to that at least. That, hey, you know what? After this call, I am going to commit to take action and to do something and go out there and raise money. And guess what? And screw up, because you have to screw up. That is the only way that you will get better at this thing called raising private capital. You have to screw up. Literally, you won't have the perfect pitch. I still screw up my pitches. I still screw up my pitch deck. I still screw up giving my introduction. I still screw up. But the beauty of it is that once I realize that I screw up, I'm like, oops, Kalisha, what did you just do? Fix it. So the next person I introduce myself to, I know how to fix my elevator pitch, right? So we have to make mistakes, because that's the only way that we can grow and become better capital raisers. Do you guys agree? Drop it in the chat if you guys agree. Yes, yes, or fire. Drop it in the chat if you guys agree with everything that I just said. Come on. I go with the flow. I go with your energy. Like, this is not here for you guys to sit down and soak up information. Okay. I like the engagement as well. All right, perfect. So we're gonna get right into it, because this is shopper time. So we're gonna go straight right in. All right. So again, tonight it's about raising private money for your real estate project. And this is for anyone, whether you are an experienced investor or looking to raise capital because you're completely new, or probably you have raised money before, right? But you don't consider that as raising money. Because a lot of times I ask people, have you raised money before? They're like, well, I borrowed money from my aunt, my father, my sister, my friend, colleague, whatever. Yes. So the answer is yes, you're not a newbie. You are an experienced capital raiser. All right. It's just that you haven't raised the amount of money that you would like to raise for a particular deal. But as long as you took on a loan from a family member, a private individual, a friend, you've raised private money. So keep that in mind. And we hear a lot about private money, using other people's money, and it sounds amazing. And then I'm here sharing with you guys about private money. But I want to give you stories so you know that where I'm coming from and my credibility as well when it comes on to the knowledge that I'm sharing. When I got to the US, and a lot of you may know my story, but I got into the intention of not even raising money, to do the bar method, because I was told that is the ideal way to get into real estate, is to do the bar method, right? Did that, borrowed, got the hard money loan, all that stuff. And then even after getting the hard money loan, when it was time to do the refinance portion of it, I found out that, okay, Kalisha, you cannot get a loan because you're not a US citizen. And I was like, you know what? There's someone else who has done this before. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to try and try and try. Fast forward, guys, literally was telling friends and family what I'm doing. And then boom, someone was like, you know what? I don't understand. What is it that you're doing? I believe in you. I have some money here. And another person was like, here, I have some money here. Right. So they saw what we're doing, put the money. Now, did I know anything about paperwork, how to protect their money, lien, and all that stuff? No, I did not. They simply trust what we're doing and went on Google. Didn't have ChatGPT at that time. Maybe that was in the works. I don't know. But from there, went on Google, find a document and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, this could be a thing. And we use private money again to acquire a short-term rental by combining private money and a DSCR loan, which a lot of persons would say that is impossible, but it is not. Okay. So sharing this with you guys because I took the step not knowing what to do, but I still did it, figured out along the way. But then at some point, I realized that, okay, I need to understand the right way how to raise private money, how to protect people's money, because if I'm going to continuously do this, I care about my reputation and I want to make sure that these people money are protected, whether they're friends, family, whoever it is. I just want to make sure that their money is protected. And I did that. I invested in masterminds, I went to conferences, events, I network with people just to hear how other persons are raising money. And one of the biggest decisions I had to make, and I hope you guys, I'm going to drop a gem right here. You have to make the commitment that I am going to raise private money. This is a skill for 2025 that I want to focus on. Yes, I would like to acquire real estate. That is amazing. Yes, I want to buy businesses. But this skill of learning to raise private money and use other people's money and structuring deals is something I want to get better at. So I'm going to commit to it. And that is what I did. Now, at the beginning, did I commit to raising money? No, I did not. Because I had, just like you, I had doubt. I didn't have people in my network. I didn't have the confidence to go out there and raise private money. So guess what I did? I went ahead and chased something else. I did a whole different thing in real estate, but then it led me back to going into raising private money after I realized like this is what I really want to do. But I made a decision to commit to raising money and mastering that skill. And because I committed, the opportunities, the doors that opened for me were endless. Now, when I look back, and all of this, guys, it wasn't 10 years ago, 7 years ago. This was all 2 years ago. I made this commitment in 2023, right? By the second quarter of 2023 to commit to raising capital. And in 2023 alone, I raised over $2 million in private capital. So it goes to show you that if you commit, you can do it. And the first half, I would say about 300,000 of that money, the first money I raised, was on social media from people that I've never met at all. 300,000 from on social media from people I have never met. I did not have previous communication with them. No, nothing. I just was raising capital for parts of the deal and they funded that deal. So I'm sharing this with you again that no matter what stage you are at in your real estate journey, raising capital journey, if you commit to raising money, you can do it. And when you hear about other people's money as well, yes, it's not your money, but you need to have the mindset that if I'm going to take someone's money, it's treat it as if it's your own money. Protect it, guard it, use it wisely. You truly have to do that, because then if you're like, oh, it's just other people's money, I can do whatever I want with it, you can get in trouble. You can get in trouble and you can lose other people's money. And everything that you work so hard for just goes right down the drain. Right down the drain. So you want to make sure that you're treating other people's money as if it is your own. And that's something that I live by. I truly, truly live by. So as I continue, I want to ask you guys, like, who do you think are private money lenders? Drop them in the chat. Who do you think are private money lenders? Because this is a common misconception of who private money lenders are. Talk to me. I'm going to drop the first clue. Someone will say a doctor. Someone will say a private money lender could be an attorney. Someone will say a private money lender could be a real estate investor, right? But guess what? A private money lender can be anyone. Someone on this chat can be a private money lender and they have no clue that they are a private money lender. Literally, they have no clue that they're a private money lender. Someone that isn't a bank, that's it. And the beauty of it too, a private money lender can be a bank. I can be a private money lender. I could be a private money lender in 6 months because I built my capital and I was like, hey, I don't want to be an operator anymore. I don't want to do buy and holds. I don't want to do anything of that. I rather have my money work for me. So I'm going to be the bank in this case. So anybody can be a private money lender. You can be a private money lender after you build your capital to some extent. You can also be a private money lender because you have money sitting in a self-directed IRA, or you have a HELOC, or you have a business line of credit. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to make my money work for me. So I'm going to take money from my HELOC and lend that out and become the bank. So I want you guys to keep that in mind, that anyone can be a private money lender. There's no particular role or hat that this person have to be wearing. But once you understand that and you're able to raise money, it can be a game changer. It can be, when I say game changer, I mean you're able to build your portfolio, right? By raising private money, you're able to get into other people's deals. By raising private money, you're able to make money by getting a finder's fee or consulting fee from knowing how to raise private money. So it can be a game changer. Now, what I'm going to share with you guys are some actionable steps for raising money. I'm going to keep it super simple tonight, not complicated or anything like that. Super, super simple, because I don't want you guys to get overwhelmed. Be like, this is too much info. This is too much, Kalisha. Slow down. I feel overwhelmed. So if you guys are ready for all these actionable steps, just drop a fire emoji in the chat that you are ready. I'm seeing there are people on here. Again, I love the engagement. So drop a fire in the chat if you guys are ready for the actionable steps on how to raise money. Things that you can do right after this call once you commit. Once you commit, you can take action on these things to raise money as well. Let's go. Oh, my underwriter is in here, guys. Whenever your deal don't pass, blame my underwriter. Shout out to my team as well. Oh my God. Shout out to my amazing, amazing team. Aaron, which is my underwriter, and Christine, which is also our admin assistant. She's phenomenal. So I want to shout out to my team. I couldn't have been doing this without them as well. So I appreciate you guys so much. And I also want to share, guys, you don't need a huge team to be successful. You can have your small circle and everyone knows the role and contribute and grow and see the vision. So shout out to my team. Okay. All right. So the first step is, and I would say drum roll, is that the first step is we got to build relationships. Yes, Kalisha. I hear this all the time. I got to build relationships, blah, blah, blah. But let me break it to you. You are in the business of a people business. You're in the business, it's a relationship business. That's it. People, relationship. There's no workaround with it. There's no sugarcoat in it. You are dealing with one, money, and people are going to lend you money if they trust you and if the deal is good. And most times they're lending you money based on your track record. Have you used private money before? Have you done a deal before? Do I like this person? This person seemed too cocky. This person seemed like they're trying to finesse, right? We're in that business of relationship. Now, if you are completely new and you're like, but Kalisha, I've never done a real estate deal before. I've never used private money before. Here's what you can do. Go to friends and family. My story is a perfect example, right? When I got started into real estate, I told everyone that, hey, yes, I'm doing this job, but my goal is to get into real estate. This is what I want to do, right? I don't know how. I don't have all the tools yet. I don't have all the resources yet, but this is what I want to do. I start looking at deals. These are the markets that I want to buy properties in. This is what I'm looking to do, right? When you start sharing that either on social media, friends, family, they are going to see it. They're going to see you putting in the work. And it just takes one person. It takes one person to believe and to trust you and give you that chance. So if you're completely new, guys, go to friends, go to family, go to a coworker, and let persons know what is it that you want to do. You got to tell people. You can't be like, I want to raise money and keep your mouth shut. There is no way for people to truly know that you want money because, like, You don't say anything. You're like shy. I don't want to talk to this family. They're going to judge me. So what? What's the worst that they're going to say is no. That's the worst. And you keep it moving. Your dreams are not going to die. You just keep it pushing. One family member tell you no, go to another one. A friend tell you no, go to another one. Literally. Yes, tell them again, Aaron. Closed mouths don't get fed. I was trying to remember that quote and I could not remember. You guys have to open your mouth and tell people what is it that you want, right? Network, network, network. If people don't know who you are, what you need, again, it's going to be hard for you to raise money. Raising money, it's okay. If I call Kalisha, I need money now. Who can I call? Boom. I'm going to call Kalisha. I am going to call Kalisha because she know people who have money. So you have to keep networking with people, whether they're in the real estate space, non-real estate space as well. I am a strong believer in doing both. I started out networking with people who are in the real estate space, but then I transitioned heavily and focused on networking with people who are not in real estate. Because there's so many persons who are not in real estate who don't even know that they can become the bank. So this is why networking is key. I think one of the main things you hear about networking, but simply if you commit to be like, you know what, once a month, twice a month, I am going to go to a networking event. How am I going to find it? Go on Facebook, look for local real estate meetup, look for maybe entrepreneurship events that are happening. You can go on meetup.com. You can go on eventbrite.com. Look for networking events that are happening in your area and make a commitment to attend those events. We all get comfortable just doing everything online, but at some point you have to go in person and meet people, especially in your local network. Why? I stress this so much. Okay, I'm just going to pick on someone here. So let's say Claudia. Let's say Claudia is in Texas and I'm in Florida, right? Claudia can meet people in Texas that I don't even have connection with because I'm so far away. Maybe I only have a connection if I meet them online. But Claudia is able to go into that Texas niche where I can't even tap into, and vice versa. So that is how you guys have to look at things. A lot of us only want to focus on online, the same communities, same groups, all that stuff. But step outside of the box. Go to networking events in your local area, real estate, non-real estate. If you have a W-2 job, maybe a group of you guys hang out, you go golfing, you go play pickleball or anything like that. That's an opportunity for you to network. So commit to doing a networking event, 1 to 2 events a month. Commit to it. Put it on your calendar. If you have kids, put it on your calendar so you do not forget. Social media. We all hate this one. Ooh, we all hate this one. Kalisha, I don't have the fancy camera. I don't like doing videos. And the excuse go on and on. I don't know what to say, but let me break it down to you. Let me break it down to you with social media. The moment you accept that you're not chasing likes, that you are not chasing views, you're just sharing content, it's the moment you'll get comfortable. All you got to do, I'm going to take up my phone. And this is how I tell everyone. You take up your phone. We're always texting, doing everything. Take up your phone, flip the camera. That's me right there. Flip the camera and hit record video and start recording. All right, guys, I am doing this video. I am now focused on real estate, and this is what I want to do. I'd love to own long-term rentals or short-term rentals in this market, yada, 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 yada. Join me on this journey as I navigate building my knowledge, investing in real estate. Post. And then you share another video. Hey guys, so I'm here. I am looking at this house in this market. I'm here on Zillow. And this is what I like about the house. This is what I don't like about the house. This is what I would like to do. It's you sharing your journey. and this is if you're completely new, no experience, never raised money before, never done a deal before. Now, on the flip side, if you are an experienced investor, which means you have done a deal before, right? You own a rental, you flip a property before, you've raised money before, use deals that you have done and share that, whether you use private money or not for that particular deal. Because you completing one deal, a fix and flip or own a rental, is proof of concept. You've gone through the process. You're one step closer to someone who have not yet started their journey, have not yet completed a certain transaction, have not yet signed a HUD, right? And a lot of times as investors who have done deals, if you haven't done 2 or 3 deals, you're like, I haven't done any deal yet. I'm still a newbie. No, you're not. Hey guys, this is a house that I bought. I used traditional financing to buy this house, and then I used my own money for the down payment. We renovated this property and then we sold it, or we renovated this property and we turned it into a rental. And I'm going to give you guys a trick. It's not even a trick. It's just being intentional. If you have done a deal before, whether you use private money or not, you can, on social media, you can share before and after pictures and share what you have done. You can create a newsletter to show pictures as well in that email with friends and family or anyone if you already have a list. Pictures of that deal, share how much you bought it for, what was the rent, how much did you sell it for, what is it worth, how much did you rent it for, what lessons have you learned going through that process. And when you put all that together, either in an email or a flyer, that now becomes your case study. And that case study is something that you can share with potential private money lenders. That case study is something you can share on social media. So now it's proof of concept. And when people ask, have you ever done anything before? Sure. Here is a case study of a deal that I've done. Now, I didn't use private money, but I used my own capital. But here's a lesson learned. If I should use private capital, this is how I would use it. And again, raising money just by using your experience on social media. Now, one of the common things that I've seen, especially when I started, and I'm glad I wasn't like this, was that you're raising money, whether it's for you or for someone else, and you're like, I need $20,000 for 6 months at X% interest rate. Done. That's the post. Or you send someone a message, someone that you've never met, and you're like, I need $20,000, or hey, I hear you're a private money lender. I need $20,000 for 6 months and I'll pay you X%. You don't introduce yourself. You haven't had a conversation with this person before and you want them to give money. Think about it this way. If someone texts you or reach out to you that they need $20,000 for 6 months, are you going to reply? You're going to be like, I don't know who this is, right? The most you would even do is like, who is this? How did you get my number? You don't even care about the deal. And you're going to think, is this a scam? You have to have that same thinking as well for the person on the other side. This is what I did when I raised the first $50,000 from someone on the internet that I've never had a conversation with. I sent them a message on Facebook. Hi, I heard that you are a private money lender. I have an opportunity that I think you might be interested in. Here are the details of it. Blah, blah. Here's my name. My name is XYZ. I've been doing real estate for X time. Here's the information about the deal. If it's something that you'd be interested in, feel free to respond to this message, or you can reach out by my contact information on the flyer. I sent this message in a private message on Facebook, on Messenger. I had a flyer that I created on Canva that had a picture of the house, right? It had the property address, how much money I need, and what I need it for, and how long I need it for, and how I plan to pay them back. As simple as that. No fluff and all that stuff. And this is a great opportunity. Everyone has a great opportunity. We all do. But that's how I approach that person. And then when they saw the deal, they're like, okay, I'm interested in this. Let's get on a phone call to talk more about it. Here's another example. I did the same thing with another lender that I met on Facebook Messenger. We had no previous communication. We're not friends on Facebook, no nothing. And I said, hi, I was referred to you by X. This is how I know you're a private money lender. I have an opportunity, an investment opportunity that I was told might be a great fit for you. Here's a flyer with all the details. If this is something that you'd be interested in, would love to talk. That's it. It's all about your approach and your introduction, right? If I reach out to a lender that I've never have a conversation with via text message, you will never catch me asking 20,000. I need $20,000 for 6 months, X% rate in a text. I am going to send a text message and I'm going to say, hi, my name is XYZ. I got your number from X person because they told me you're a private money lender and might be looking for investment opportunities. I have one available. Here are all the details. If this is something that you will be interested in, would love to connect or to talk more. Again, it is just your approach. Am I making sense so far, guys? Drop it in the chat. Am I making sense? I think I'm making sense. And I hope you guys are not just taking notes, but you're realizing how simple it is to raise money, even if you do not have a network of people. It's all about how can I stand out from the crowd? And most times to stand out from the crowd, you don't need this grand thing. It could be as simple as your introduction. That's it. All right. Now, another thing that even an experienced investor can use to build relationships is ask referrals, right? Tap into your network of other real estate investors who have used private money before to say, hey, do you know anyone who could potentially invest in this deal? It's simply you asking. If you don't ask, how can you broaden your network? Ask someone. Do you know anyone that will be interested in investing in this deal? Hey, do you have anyone in your network? The worst can happen, the person say no, and that's it. Keep it moving. At least you tried. At least you open your mouth and you ask the question. Exactly. The most they can say is no, and you keep it pushing. But ask other real estate investors, ask people within your network if they know anyone who have money. Now, the other thing apart from building relationships is I just kind of tie this in a little bit with presenting your deal. And what I would say is, again, put yourself in the investor's shoe. If someone comes to you and be like, can you lend me $5,000? Your first question is going to be like, what do you need the money for? Or maybe it's like, who are you? How long do you need the money for? Right? So when you're presenting your deal, you want to make sure your deal shows this in a simple, clear step. This is what I need your money for. That's one. I need your money for X to purchase the property on 123 Main Street. This is how long I need the money for. I need it for 8 months, and I need it for 8 months because I'm going to renovate and then sell the property. So you show what do you need the money for, how long, and you also tie in how will they get their money back. I'm going to renovate and sell this house. Keep it simple. Again, as investors, we all have great deals, but keep it simple. I want to see how much money do you need? What do you need the money for? How long do you need the money for? And how am I being compensated? So what is the interest rate on my money? For me, that usually comes last because I just need to see how you're going to pay me back. And that particular deal needs to show me that you can pull my money out. Not from cash flow I have there or this house I have there, or I'm hoping to make $20,000 in the next 6 months, or I have $20,000 sitting in my bank account right now, or I'll have that $20,000 in 6 months. No. You need to be able to show your investor, your private money lender that, hey, this is how I plan to get your money out from this particular deal. Now, you do have investors who have cross collateral, or yes, they truly have money coming in, but there needs to be solid proof, but that should never be your first option, especially if you have never worked with this private money lender before and you're trying to get them to say yes. The deal needs to clearly state this is how you will get your money out. And this is where crucial underwriting comes into play. Your profit is not purchase, rehab, and whatever that costs, deduct that from ARV, what the property is sold, and then the difference is the profit. No, it's not. What I see a lot of mistake is, especially when you're thinking of using private money, you need to calculate all the costs associated with that entire project. So you have your purchase price, you have your rehab, you have your holding costs. Your holding costs consist of some of these things, and you don't have to have every single thing. If you're using a hard money loan, you have the monthly interest that you're going to be paying to the hard money. And usually, if you're like, but Kalisha, what does that interest look like? A lot of hard money loans give you a term sheet. When you give them all the information for them to see if they will fund the deal, they give you something called a term sheet. On that term sheet, it will show the interest. It will show any additional fees. They will call like origination fees or points. It will show you that, right? So you calculate whatever the interest is. And if you're like, this project is going to take me 7 months. So if the hard money interest is 5,000, it's 5,000 times 7. And then you got to keep in mind that your hard money interest may increase if you're having like rehab draws and all those complicated stuff. But we're going to keep it simple. So all you technical people, don't overanalyze it right now. But that will consist of your holding costs. You have taxes, right? You have insurance. If you are not clear what that is, go on Zillow, find the property, go on Realtor, go on Redfin. It usually gives you an idea of what the taxes or insurance can be for you to calculate that. If you're also using private money, so your hard money, right? You have your hard money and maybe the hard money is giving you 80% and you need gap funding. That's the shortage because your hard money is only giving you 80% and you need to bring the remaining 20%. So then you go to a private lender for that 20%. You have to pay interest on that gap funding that you're going to borrow. So you also have to calculate what that interest is going to be in your holding costs. Now, if your private money lender is also acting as your hard money lender, so let's say hard money lender is out of the picture, you're not going institution, right? But your private individual is coming in with the majority of the funds, you still have to calculate what their interest is going to be, because that is a fee that you have to pay. Another fee that you have to pay that includes your project cost is your closing costs to buy. That is a non-negotiable. You need that, right? Then you have your closing costs to sell. Again, mandatory for you to know what is my entire project cost. Your entire project cost, you have your purchase, you have your rehab, you have your interest to the HML if you're using it, you have the interest to the private money lender that you're going to borrow more money from, you have interest on that, you have your taxes, you have your insurance, you have your closing cost to buy, you have your closing cost to sell. All of that together, deduct that from what you can potentially sell the property for. Whatever that difference is your estimated profit. And if you can show to your investor that, hey, I've calculated all my non-negotiable costs for this project, this is what my profit is. So if your profit is $50,000, you can say, hey, lender, if this deal goes south, I have enough cushion of the $50,000 to pay you back. Right? So your reserves can also come from that as well. So if someone's like, hey, Kalisha, I need private money, whether it's for the entire project or a portion of it, and if I calculate those main costs and I see that, okay, there's a 20,000 spread, no. Because if the deal goes south, if something happens unexpected in rehab, which it usually does, that $20,000 is wiped out. Now, how will the lender get their money out? So you got to present the deal to your lender so they see. I know I went off track a little bit there, but I always love stressing the underwriting portion of it because you have to calculate your interest that you are going to be paying to that private money lender in your project costs to show them like, hey, I've calculated all these costs this deal will be able to pay you back. And I still have cushion left in this deal. Another way to present your deal is just sit down, guys. Like, it doesn't take anything. Um, do a pitch deck, do a flyer, and put the information together. If you have a bunch of documents, put those all in a Google Drive, right? Like pitch decks as well. You can go on Canva. I know persons who are on here as well. And if you're watching this after, who are in my community on Skool, they get the free pitch deck template. They get a template. So all they got to do is just go in, put their information in, put the details in. They don't have to create anything from scratch because I provide those templates for them. But you can simply create a flyer and put the basic information, like just commit time and put the information together and present it. Don't be that person who posts, I need this money for X time, and you don't have any details. And the lender is like, okay, send me this. And then you're like, send them so much information all over the place. Be organized. People appreciate that. Again, you're dealing with money. And another thing when presenting the deal is having, in technical terms, will be like risk mitigation, but have a backup plan. Show the lender that you are preparing for the worst. What happens if this deal goes south? Can I, like, say you're doing a fix and flip. If this project is taking longer to finish or it's taking longer to sell, can I refinance and pull your money out, right? Can I rent this property out, right? If Airbnb doesn't work with the cash flow, what else can I do for this property to make money? And that's something that you always want to make sure that you have a backup plan, because to your investor, they're like, okay, maybe they're not even thinking about it, but you sharing that, your investor is like, oh, wait, they are even thinking for the worst case scenario. Whereas if this deal goes south, they have a backup plan to pay me my money back. That gives your investors so much peace of mind. So much peace of mind that you know what you're doing, right? And that as well will also lead me to the next point, is that it will show so much credibility and trust. So much, because your investors, like, they know what they're doing. They took the time to put things together. They've thought everything through, and they're committed to this deal. They're super committed. So once your investor now is like, okay, tell me more, you use that opportunity to walk them through the deal. What's the worst can happen? You use that opportunity to answer any question that they might have. Now, if you're new or experienced, you may not have the answer to every single question, and that is okay. Simply let them know, if you're not sure, hey, I think I know the answer to this, but I'm going to double check something and let you know. That's it. Use that opportunity to be transparent and answer the questions as best as you can, so your investor feel comfortable. Because if they're not comfortable, they won't commit to funding your deal. Even if they do commit to funding your deal, guys, they will want to back out at the very last minute because they feel like, I don't know enough. I don't think I'm ready, right? I don't think I'm ready. What happens? And this is where questions will pop up now. They're like, what if you disappeared my money? How's my money protected? What if you run away? What if you would die? And this is where the legal paperwork comes in. And this is how you need to know who are you talking to, because a lot of times your private money lender don't know anything about real estate, and you start talking about promissory note and mortgage, and they get so overwhelmed because they've never heard about those documents before, right? So yes, we all know the promissory note. This is what outlines. Again, I am not, by the way, not giving you guys legal advice. I don't know how I forgot to say this. Everything that I'm sharing here, guys, it's just based on my experience. I'm not giving anybody legal advice. Go do your own due diligence. Seek professional advice from your attorney, accountant, CPA, all those fancy people, okay? All right. So when it comes on to your legal documents, you're not an expert. You are not an expert. You hire the expert to draft the paperwork. You agree with the terms with your private money lender. So your promissory note usually have who are you, so your company name, which is the borrower name, the lender name, the borrower mailing address, the lender mailing address, how much money are you borrowing, how long are you borrowing the money for, at what rate, what is the interest rate are you paying that money. Those are the basic things that should be in your promissory note. And then what happens if you are late? All the other technicalities, get an attorney to do it, right? For your promissory note. Your mortgage normally have the property address as well. It has the borrower name, the lender name, the amount of money you're borrowing, how long you're borrowing it for, when is the loan due, when did we sign this loan. Your mortgage as well, it's what's going to protect your investors' money. How, why, how does that work? Your mortgage is what will secure your attorney or whoever to put a lien against that property. You cannot use a promissory note only to secure that property. You need that mortgage to secure that property. You also need the original copy. Now, do your lender sign the document? In most cases that I've seen in the states that I've done business with, the lenders don't sign the paperwork. It is always the borrowers because they are the one taking on that note, right? The lender would just approve those documents. But your title company, your whoever is recording the documents to the county or to that particular state, right? They need the original document in order for them to put a lien on the property. The lien is what's going to secure the property. So you can let your investor know, hey, if I die, if I run away, you have a lien against my property. It's recorded. It's publicly recorded. You can go and be like, listen, Kalisha borrowed money from me on 123 Main Street. I'm claiming ownership on this asset because I need my money. And if you are in first lien, which means you lent all or majority of the money on that project, you can take full control of that property. Now, if you lent a portion of it and you're in second lien position, because maybe you did a gap funding, right? Then you'd have to, that's a whole different story, but we're not going to go into that, right? But you need your promissory note, you need your mortgage. Some investors, some lenders will ask for, what do you call that? Personal guarantee. And it's not mandatory. Some borrowers are okay signing a personal guarantee. If you're not sure how comfortable you feel with that, go consult your attorney. Like, it is as simple as that, right? And another thing is, and this is what I've seen a lot for me, guys, and this is just me, everyone is different. If I've never done business with a lender before, friend, family, someone that I've never met, I don't care. I still give them a mortgage. I still give them a promissory note, and I still do a wet signature. Because in order for the mortgage to be recorded, you need a wet signature, not electronic. Don't do a DocuSign or nothing, like a wet signature in front of a notary. And those documents need to be notarized, especially your mortgage. It needs to be notarized. And all these documents as well, it's different by state. Do not use ChatGPT to draft these documents. Don't do it. Do not do it. Please, guys, get an attorney that is familiar with the state that property will be in. So you want to make sure those documents are signed, wet signature, and notarized as well. That is very, very important. And again, you just need to understand that it shows the borrower name, the lender name, what happens if you don't meet the deadline to pay the loan, that the amount is correct, and that the interest rate that you agree to pay the lender is correct. Everything else, go through the document and ask an attorney to explain to you what it means. And this part of it, as we wrap up, is closing the deal. Closing the deal and follow up. For a lot of us that I've seen, and even if you have never raised money before, you want to have this mentality of just as how when you needed the money, you were on top of the lender. You were answering their questions as quickly as possible. You were answering their call as quickly as possible, their email. You were like on top of it. You want to keep that same energy when they give you the money. And that same energy meaning, you want to make sure that you are giving your lender update on the project. You're letting them know what's going on, whether that's pictures, videos, if there is delays, you want to let them know. Keep that same energy and updating your lender, because that is what going to provide a good experience for your investor, for them to be like, you know what, throughout the entire process, Kalisha communicated whether it was good or bad. I want to keep reinvesting my money with her. And guess what? They may even refer other people to you as well to invest their money. This is something that I have seen, right? You also want to make sure after you go through the process of, you present the deal, they're ready to go, you do the paperwork, they give you the money, you want to make sure that you keep everything organized, and you're also keeping track of when is this loan due, right? You want to make sure that as you're being reminded, you keeping pictures all in one place, you're keeping documents all in one place. Maybe you're doing a Google Drive, that is okay, but you want to keep everything in one place. You want to follow up and all those things, again, providing a smooth process, a very, very smooth process. Now, everything that I just shared, you may forget it, and that is okay, especially if you are new. Take it one step at a time. Go raise the money, go find the people, raise the money, right? Then once you're raising the money and you have a deal, you present the deal, put the deal together. So you put the deal together and you go out there and raise the money. Once you get persons who are interested in the deal, explain to them about the deal, the good, the bad, the ugly, what's the worst that can happen. Then you transition. This is how I'm going to make sure your money's protected just in case I die or I disappear, the deal goes out. This is how I'm going to protect your money. This is what happens after I get you the money, after you give me the money. So you want to break things down so you have a clear plan for that person. For someone who has never lent money before, not borrow, for someone who has never lent money before, you want to share with them a clear path of what the process would be like. That would give that investor confidence to know that I'm lending my money to someone who knows or seem like they know what they're doing. So you want to be clear. And that is what has got me to this stage, because even though I was not perfect, I was able to communicate and or give an idea of what the process would look like. Again, for someone who's completely new. So you can be new at borrowing money, but you need to understand the process from start to finish. So you can properly explain that to someone who you are trying to convince to give you their money, especially if they've never done it before. If they've never done it before, they're going to trust you as the expert. And yes, you are the expert, whether you've done a deal or not, because you took the time to learn the process of what it takes to buy a property, to underwrite a deal, to vet a deal, to see if it's a good investment. So commit to understanding the process. And I share this, and everyone, you might think, but like, wait, but it's the same thing. Like everyone talks about when it comes on to raising money, it's the same thing. This is what it entails. It's no secret sauce at all. Like I tell persons in my accountability group on Skool, I call them my elite capital raisers. So by the way, if you guys are not a part of the Skool community, it's free, literally free. Join, you guys. I do weekly Q&As, and if you want like more accountability and hand holding and all that stuff, you have the pro group, which will drop that in the chat as well. But you raising money is being able to tell people what you're doing, what you're raising the money for, and how their money will be protected, and presenting the deal. That is raising capital. Even if you don't have a deal at the moment that you are raising capital for, have a third-party story. If you're looking at a deal to buy for yourself and you know, okay, I want to buy a property in Ohio, and based on your knowledge of looking at properties, you saw that properties cost $100,000, and you know that it's going to cost you $50,000 to renovate. You know that it can be sold for $250,000. When you're raising money, hey, so I don't have a deal right now, but I'm looking at properties in Ohio. it costs around 100,000. The ones that I've been looking for average will need about 50 to $60,000 in rehab, and this is how much I can sell it for. Would you be interested in something like that? You don't have that deal right now, but you have a story. You're giving them an idea of how much money they would need. So you're planting that seed if you don't have a particular deal that you're raising capital for. If you are an investor and you have raised money before, use a previous deal that you've done and give person an example. Well, if it was your own money of $20,000, just say, hey, I tend to do deals where I need anywhere between 20,000 to 30,000. You are planting that seed, you guys. It's not rocket science. It just takes a lot of you committing to doing it. And it's not just, I want to raise money and I'm going to just do it for this week and reach out to people and that's it. You're always raising money. You're being intentional when you go to events, when you meet up with friends, family. Hey, what have you been up to? And you find a way to tie that real estate thing in. On your social media, find a way to tie it in. Yes, you're like, oh, but I don't want to share my kids and all that stuff. No, it's like, I'm not saying to share your kids. If you don't want to, you don't have to. Share what is it that you're doing. Like, we're in an era now where being on the internet is so crucial. Having an online presence is so crucial. You don't need to be active on every single platform. Choose one or two that you're comfortable with and be consistent with posting content there. You don't have to post every single day either. You do not. All right. And especially as well, if you're raising money, is that when you're talking to people as well, you want to keep track of your leads for your potential lenders that you are reaching out to. Maybe you met a few people at a networking event. Maybe you met some persons on the internet, on Facebook, wherever. Instead of you taking all their info and putting it on your phone and then it disappears, you forget after you leave the event. Like, duh, like you take someone's number, you put it in your phone. By the time you get home, maybe you forget the person's name. Intentionally, instead of doing that, make a note of all those persons, their name, their phone number, their email, and start following up. You want to make sure you also have a system to keep track of those potential leads. So that way, even if they didn't commit to say yes, you can nurture that lead. You can continue educating. You can continue touching base and checking in with those people. Which leads me to my next point, is that I recently did a video. No, I actually didn't do a video because I haven't shared it yet. But because I'm launching something rather, where if you are if you're in that space where you are struggling with keeping your leads organized for potential private money lenders, because all the systems out there is mainly for real estate wholesaling and all that stuff, I am working on something where you guys can keep all your leads in one place, follow up, nurture, email marketing, all the works and all that stuff. And I'm going to drop the wait list in the chat. Hopefully Christine can drop that in the chat. And that will allow you guys to join. So whenever I launch that new product or whatever it is, that you guys can have access to it. And you can join the wait list. So only persons who are on this wait list will be able to get this thing that I am sharing. Okay. Questions. If you guys have questions, drop them in the chat as well. Drop them in the chat if you guys have questions when it comes on to raising money. And I'm going to answer the most commonly asked question, which is, Kalisha, how do I find private money lenders? They're everywhere. They are everywhere. They're in this chat right now. They're in our community, on Skool. They're everywhere. No one is going out and saying, hey, I have money. Who want money? Nobody's doing that. People who have money are either they're observing, if they're on social media, they're observing and watching who is actually doing what they're saying. And they might even reach out because they're like, hey, I see that you've been posting this. I would love to talk more and learn more about what you're doing. And they'll approach you. Now, of course, you're going to have opportunities or options where you have to go out and meet people and tell people what is it that you're doing. And then from there, you're like, huh, that is interesting. And you kind of, again, plant the seed and they will follow up because they're very interested in what is it that you are doing. Does everything that I just said make sense? Because you guys are like, I know you guys, maybe you're driving. That's okay if you can't drop in the chat, but drop some fire in the chat if what I just said makes sense and if you guys get it. There's no secret. There is no secret to raising money. It's you having stamina and being consistent. That is what's going to help you to master that skill of raising money and keep building that network, because people are going to see that you're consistent with it. You're consistently reaching out. You're committing to it. That's all it takes. That's what set people apart. That's what set me apart from people who committed to raising money and disappear. Like, I don't want to do this again. This is too much. But I guarantee you that if you simply commit to master this skill, right, to raise money for your projects or for other people, whatever it is, so many opportunities will come to you. You will find more lenders, and it will be, again, you're in the business of people, you're in the business of relationship. Because then if you have one private money lender and you provide a great experience with that private money lender, that lender will introduce you to someone else. They're going to tell someone else about the experience that they had with you. They're going to tell someone else that, oh, I made this much money with Kalisha. This is what I'm doing. I'm lending her money, blah, blah, blah. And she paying back by X time. If she doesn't, then I make extra money here. And then someone's like, oh, wow, I would love to do that because you have done business with her. You trust her. I feel comfortable giving Kalisha my money. So it's a chain effect. Is that what you call it? I don't know what you call it. But you guys just got to remember that anyone could be a private money lender. They may not know now, but again, if they have capital, maybe someone's getting a bonus from somewhere, maybe they can pull out a HELOC, but they have no clue that they can pull out money from their home. So for those who know, a HELOC is a home equity line of credit, that they have equity in their home and they can pull out cash and lend. Maybe they have a business line of credit. They can take that capital, that money, and lend as well, right? Maybe they have a whole life insurance policy. That portion I haven't done yet myself, but I've heard really, really good things about it. That they can pull money from that and lend as well. Chain reaction. Yes, Claudia. Thank you, girl. But there are different opportunities for you to raise money as well. It just comes down to you literally going out there and telling people what is it that you're doing. There's no perfect elevator pitch. There's no perfect process of doing it. It's you adjusting what you're doing based on the environment that you are in, right? So just a few announcements, because I'm not seeing any questions in the chat as well. I'm just going to give you a few announcements. Again, if you guys are not in our Skool community, join. It is free. I dropped the chat there as well. Join the waitlist for this new tool that I'm coming out with for you if you want to keep track of all your leads for your lenders and nurture and all that good stuff. I dropped that in there as well. And the best way to reach me is here, I'll say, and Instagram. And guys, make sure, like, let me know the feedback as well. I would really, really appreciate it. Your takeaways from this video, if it's just leaving a comment or subscribing to this channel. I'm trying to put as much content as I can out there. I don't want to hide anything. No fluff, no surface level information. Everything that I share tonight are things that I have done and that has worked for me. I didn't go on Chat GPT or hear what someone else is doing and telling you. These are things that I've tried and I've seen it has worked for me. If you go back and check out my other videos, I'm preaching the same thing. And that is what has brought me this success so far to have raised so much money. It's just my consistency and just keeping track, staying organized, taking this very serious. I have all my leads here. Okay, I need to follow up my leads. I need to touch base with my leads, and I need to nurture those leads. I need to provide a great experience to my lenders. Whether the deal is going good or the deal is going bad, I'm letting them know everything that's going on. I'm having the tough conversation because this is what's going to make them feel more comfortable in investing with me again. And this is what will allow them to tell a friend about what they're doing with me and bring more lenders my way. I'm not afraid to tell people what I'm doing. If I need money, I'm going to everybody, a lender, another real estate investor, because the goal is I need to get that deal funded. So just remember, raising money can be from anybody. Anybody. So if you're on this call or this live or you're watching, whether now or later, if you're new, you can raise money with no experience and no deal. All it takes is for you to fully commit and just put yourself out there and tell someone what is it that you're doing or what your goals are, what your vision is, and make your action match up to your words. And if you are an experienced investor, simply use deals that you have done and lead with your track record because it's proof of concept. You have done it before. It's just that, and you've done it with your own money. In this case, now you want to use private money so you can have your capital as reserves just in case anything happens. And that's how you sell it. That is how you sell it. So, thank you to each and every one of you for staying on. And I hope this was very valuable, simple steps. I didn't even go touch on so many things because I'm like, I don't want it to be technical. I want you guys to understand how simple it is to go out there and raise money and do your pitch, because there's no perfect pitch. There's nothing, no perfect pitch. There's no perfect private money lender, how they should look, where you should find them, because they are everywhere. All right. So again, subscribe to my channel, guys. I can't believe I'm the person saying that. That's crazy. That is crazy. You would ask me like 2 years ago if I'll be doing YouTube. I'll be like, hell no, that is not my thing. I don't like doing videos. We would never be have me saying like, subscribe to my channel. But there's also a ton of content as well on my page about raising private money, because that's all I talk about, because I want to share with as many people as possible to be like, hey, you can raise money, right? Whatever it is that you do, you can do it. Doesn't matter your experience, you can do it. So let me know, drop a comment, you guys, after this live is ended. Let me know the feedback, your takeaway from this session as well. Subscribe if you're not in or Skool group, join as well. Happy to have you guys there. There's so much resources and their free pitch decks, templates, everything recording. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. Bye, guys.